saying live, but I'm not seeing it. That's why I have my. So I'm always checking. Yes. Finally. Thank you very much. Time bending. Today was definitely a day for time bending because I don't know where the time went. I kept saying, oh, I gotta get on. I gotta get on. Now it's past midnight, so I'm borrowing a time zone. It's been a while since I borrowed a time zone, So the topic for today is planned neglect. Interesting topic, a different kind of concept, and it centers around a sociology study in which 50 people over the age of 95 were asked one question. And the question is, if you could live your life over again, what would you do differently? If you could live your life over again, what would you do differently? And over the time of the research, the three main things or three main answers that people responded to as follows. If I had to do it over again, I would reflect more. That was the first one. The second one, if I had to do it over again, I would risk more. We were talking about risk yesterday, wasn't it? And the last one, if I had to do it over again, I would do more things that would live on after I'm dead. It's food for thought. And the place where the planned neglect comes in is the story of a young concert violinist who was asked about the secret of her success. And she said, it's planned neglect. She explained, when I was in school, there were many things that demanded my time. Can you relate? I can certainly relate, especially today. A lot of things I meant to do didn't quite get there, but let me continue with the story. When I went to my room after breakfast, I made my bed, straightened the room, dusted the floor, and did what else came to my attention. Then I hurried to my violin practice. I found I wasn't progressing as I thought I should, so I reversed things. Until my practice period was completed, I deliberately neglected everything else. That program of planned neglect, I believe, accounts for my success. So that was very interesting. So a very good lesson. Looking at all the things that needs to be done in the day and deciding, okay, I'm going to leave this and do this one thing that matters. That's something that one of the programs I belong to talks about. What is your one thing for today that you're going to do? I usually have about 10, so picking one thing has not been easy. Picking that one thing, but I think the idea I'm getting is pick one thing at a time, focus on it, get it done, and then pick the next thing. So picking the one thing, the first one thing, is what is that most important, crucial thing that needs to get done. So this is for me a work in progress. That's why it's time bending. And then I'm also listening to another lesson about time bending. So one of the things I do is I put my watch about 10 minutes ahead, even though I know it's 10 minutes ahead, but when I use it to get ready, it's always a relief, like, oh yeah, this is 10 minutes ahead, because I'm not, when I'm looking at it, I'm not thinking, oh, this is 10 minutes ahead, so I don't need to think about it as the correct time. I am looking at it as this is my time, and then later I remember, oh yeah, this is 10 minutes fast, and I feel like amazing. I just bent time, so to speak. And I just realized I forgot to go live on my other. You know what? It's late. I'll catch up with them tomorrow. It's too late. Okay. So yes, time bending. I feel bad not going because I had put in the titles and everything. Okay, I'll just do a little bit recap. Okay. Right. Time bending. Very interesting recap. So what I was talking about is, how do we bend time? Ask these questions to people over 95. What would they have done differently if they had to live their life over again? The first was, if I had to do it over again, I would reflect more. The second was, if I had to do it over again, I would risk more. And the last one, if I had to do it over again, I would do more things that would live on after me. If I was going to look at the three of them, I'll pick the last one as the main one, because it helps put things in perspective in terms of, what am I doing with my time? What am I doing with myself? Without putting myself down or being harsh. And then there's the concert pianist who talks about planned neglect, and how, instead of trying to do everything and then do her practice, for example, make her go to her room, make her bed, straighten the room, dust the floor, and then go for violin practice, she reversed it, and she goes for the violin practice and then does the other things later. So it's about priority. It's all about prioritizing, which is what my dear friend Madigen talks about. Priority management. It's not time management, because time cannot be managed. The time is going to go. 1 second already passed as I'm speaking. So it's priority management. How do you manage your priorities? I have a long list of things I have to do. So it's about prioritizing, which one do I do first. Food for thought. All right. I'm a bit late today. In fact, I'm very late today because I had to borrow a time zone, but it's okay. One thing is, I've learned not to be hard on myself and celebrate wherever I am. This is where I am right now, and I'm celebrating that this is where I am right now. So thank you for joining me, and I will see you later today, because it's already tomorrow here. But in some parts of the world, it's still yesterday. It's all about time bending.